So really it was this group um, around you and then some self-reflection and prayer, and you made that decision. There was really not a lot of talk at all, it sounds like.
There was zero planning. So
Many leaders, when they're in different roles, they're looking for when is the right time for what's next? Or and who do you talk to in your corner? What was that transition and maybe that network around you or your community around you? What did that look like in navigating that decision?
Navir, my life is like one example after another of I have plans in my mind, in my heart, and then they get redirected. And there's a proverb about that says, people make plans in their heart and the Lord directs their steps. So this was another clear example of that, of me taking a while to learn what really should be the next step. And I remember the voluntary separation program, that VSP came open, that opportunity. And this is strange. So if anyone's been around the academy or taught there, this. If you haven't, it is rare to have people just come by your office and small talk for a while, right? You're with cadets in your open office hours, or you're teaching, or you're preparing for something. So
Right.
We're always running around. And 15 people, several of them, I couldn't have even told you their last name. I was just an acquaintance with them. Stopped by my office in my open hours during the day, one after the other, asking the exact same thing. Are you going to apply for this VSP? And I remember
I can't even, that's just kind of blows my mind, right? I'm putting myself in your shoes in that moment. Yes, please continue.
Yeah. So if Anthony Padroni is listening, he was the last one. And Tony comes in at like 7 that night in my office and asked the same exact question. We're friends. We work together in the management department. And he said, are you going to apply for this VSP? And I said, no, man, I love my job. I love what I'm doing. Why would I want to leave here? And he said, oh, Mr. Sensitive. And he walked away. And when he said that, I was convicted. I had not even stopped to pray for a second. Like, is this the right thing to do? And I just knew it was, and I didn't know why. So I, as an Enneagram 9, I try to lead with my gut instinct. That always just naturally leads first. And I just knew I needed. So I applied that night.
Wow.
I was one of 20 that got it. I got a call the next day and I was out in 30 days. So
my goodness. So really it was this group around you and then some self-reflection and prayer, and you made that decision. There was really not a lot of talk at all, it sounds like.
There was zero planning. So but I knew it was right. And I knew if I just think taking steps of faith, sometimes we need to be redirected. And looking back on my life now, I cannot imagine not doing this nonprofit work early. In my mind, the timing was retire first, be stable, make a good decision, get your retirement, then launch this nonprofit. But that wasn't the best way forward. And so I would just say that for others too, where I had to be redirected, and it was so helpful for me. And that if, you're holding on to a dream, sometimes it's good to be stable and make that, what might look like a more traditional decision. And sometimes it's not. And to have the courage to be able to at least ask that question.
I love that. So you jumped and you have now led Dream Centers. Let's talk about this a little bit, because I think many people may not know what Dream Centers of Colorado Springs is and the mission.
There's a movement across the world. There's several hundred Dream Centers. And the basic thing that ties it all together is that we share this vision that we would find a real need in a city, wherever we're located, that's unduplicated, and we go meet that need. So we're not the same organization as any one other of these hundreds of Dream Centers. But I got to go on that listening tour for about 6 months and learn as much as I could from people here before we decided what we wanted to land on that would really be something unique and unduplicated that we could offer the city.
Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this leadership lesson, watch the full episode by hitting the thumbnail here, and subscribe now to get the latest episodes of Long Blue Leadership delivered directly to your YouTube feed or wherever you get your podcasts.